Now, I am really excited for this next segment. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of viewing, I think maybe one of the very first hate videos about our channel from a channel called Eric Debunks. It's titled Pop Culture Crisis, Outraged by Victoria's Secret Fashion Show, including trans models, Timcast Garbage. And this person's name is Eric, spelled A-I-R-R-I-C-K. So your parents did you dirty, but we are going to react to this video and
first let's
not
show the
like
thumbnail.
Debunk it. Like, we're just gonna laugh at it because it's hilarious, and the thumbnail's
amazing.
The thumbnail is just incredible, like chef's kiss.
That is my hair is fantastic.
How did Phil make it out of that unscathed?
Phil got out of it unscathed. That's all right. That's all right.
So it says these guys are the worst. They have a clown wig on Brett and a clown nose on me.
Perfect.
If you're listening rather than watching. But we're gonna play it and hear what Eric, who calls himself Bear Daddy Supreme, has to say about our video on Victoria's Secret.
Here we go.
I'm bored, and for the first time ever, let's react to Pop Culture Crisis. Okay, a little context of this video. Today they're going to be talking about Victoria's Secret's fashion show and the inclusion of trans models as well as people of different shapes and sizes. So that being said, let's get into this.
The Victoria's Secret fashion show just came back from a long hiatus. They went on hiatus back in 2019 and finally decided to bring it back. And people were really hoping that this would be a return to form for the brand. They'd finally bring sexy back. And that is unfortunately not what happened. They missed.
I mean, the entire brand is built on sex appeal. People have been buying, like Victoria's Secret has been making stuff since their last fashion show. It's not like they just stopped making things. Like, fashion show over, no Victoria's Secret stuff. That's not the way it works.
The fashion show was on hiatus, not the
last fashion show.
brand.
So bringing sexy back, like, I mean, visually, okay, maybe, but they've been making garments.
Wait, can we pause just a second? I'm not even bringing this up for no reason, but this guy, this YouTuber, he is gay, okay? So he does think himself an authority on sex appeal and what appeals to straight men despite being gay. We'll continue now.
Okay.
2018, since the last fashion show, which I believe was either 2018 or 2019.
It's the mark again.
Dudes.
Well, dudes and women. I think that this was...
Wait, hold on.
It's the mark again.
Dude.
Brand.
Okay, so the guy saying this, a little bit of my gaydar is kicking in here. The guy that's saying
The gaydar.
dudes is giving off like Rent Daddy vibes. Like he works in adult entertainment.
We're gonna tell Phil you said that.
Like that's the vibe it's giving. Like you pay for his VODs.
It's giving projection,
His OF.
is what it's
That's
giving.
what it's giving, but let's hear what he has to say here.
And it finally brings sexy back, and that is unfortunately not what happened. They missed the mark again.
Dudes.
Well, dudes and women. I think that this was the Victoria's Secret fashion show at its prime, appealed to both men and women because it was fun, it was pink, it was glittery. All of the models were just seen smiling and giggling, and they had bouncy hair, and everything was just so girly, but it was also okay for women to be hot at the time in the 2000s. That is
So weird. Okay for women to be hot. I don't know why this narrative is painted that people who are more progressive don't want to see attractive people. I think the thing is there was an unhealthy standard.
Remember when
of
they
beauty.
put
We
out
saw this
that
with, like,
that
American-
article about the conservative hot girl trend and tried to like get a bunch of academics to explain why men find hot women hot?
Yeah.
Like, there is clearly some disconnect happening here.
Because back in the day, you would be able to have those discussions without fear for somebody telling you that it was a sign of greater misogyny or it had something to do with unrealistic beauty standards. There was a certain level of frivolity that could be had around that topic that's just not allowed, not allowed, that oftentimes is not done anymore. It has to always be a discussion about something that is deeper and more academic and lamer.
Well, I think they were like mad about the lack of diversity in the conservative movement in that example. But let's keep going.
Next Top Model. If you ever watched that show, probably the biggest model competition in the world. iterations of it all over the place. If you go back and you look now at some of the older seasons, you will see just how unhealthy the standards were. We're talking
was
about
awesome.
like body shaming, eating habits, just very unhealthy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, to your point, we are in the middle of the Ozempic apocalypse in Hollywood, which is just as unhealthy as people not eating food. Nothing actually changes in any of these industries. They have shifted the focus onto progressive themes that try to paint them as good people in a way, but it doesn't mean that anything's any better in these businesses. If anything, I would say a lot of the virtue signaling that is done by these companies is done to cover up a more nefarious nature. Like I said, everything you see now is an from a company. Everything that they advertise, it's some cause, whether it's climate change, whatever it may be. And if that's your marketing scheme, sure. But it belies the idea that you're allowed to just sell a product because it's a good product, rather than saying, not only should you buy this product, here's what we're doing for other people. And usually it's because they're actually, what was the thing that I just saw the meme today? It said, I would rather companies stop donating money to causes and just stop making products that are harming us. This was in relation to the food that we consume in this country. Mm-hmm. So much of the food is basically poison right now.
Look, Brett, you're doing too much right now. None of these arguments are going to land with someone who's just obsessed with nitpicking, and he's not making arguments himself. He's just making a bunch of platitudes.
He's not. He hasn't said anything ultra offensive yet.
Well, let's keep listening.
As an
then.
industry, and what they've tried to do is pull back a little bit on that unhealthy environment. And so we're not seeing everyone look like copy paste of each other.
They're not doing that for positive reasons. They're not doing that because corporations just developed a conscious all of a sudden.
It's called toxic empathy and toxic positivity. That's like, oh yeah, we totally like want to include all the fat girls, but I'm gonna keep being skinny. That's what it is.
In the modeling industry, in the fashion industry. And so they're acting as if they want to go back to like objectifying and causing women to have these unhealthy standards of beauty.
Women were the target demo for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. They loved watching it. Now they're not watching it. So
I'm not talking about people that don't want to go to the gym or anything like that. I'm talking about the idea that you have to be a sample size. Every woman has to be sample size, which is extremely unhealthy. Not every person's body is designed to look that way.
But not every corporation has to cater to every woman's body size. That's
also,
all I'm saying.
Victoria's Secret offers those sizes. It doesn't mean that they need to show it on the runway. Yeah. No one wants to see that shit. And I have to be honest, no, not every woman needs to be sample size, which refers to 0 or 2, usually.
Okay.
But absolutely no woman is designed to be a size 16. There is no natural, healthy version of being a size 16. Let's continue.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of bullshit that these guys pretend is good for the world. And it's just not. It's not.
It's no longer okay. So I saw some positive takes. Friend of the show, Andrea Muse, said 6 years of woke.
He gave you props
from coming back.
In a minute here, I
Morgan
think.
said the world is healing. Victoria's Secret fashion shows are back. We want the angels, not LGBTQ plus obese models.
I'm sorry, but modernity was always going to push this over the edge. This was never going back to what it was.
Is he straight? My gaydar is going crazy right now. And for people that are not aware what gaydar is, it's like a gay person.
Wait, who doesn't know what gaydar is?
Yeah, everyone's heard of that.
On our own. Like, it's like pheromones.
Well, that's very rude on his part to do such a thing.
I think Bear Daddy Supreme just has a tendency to assume things.
That's
are
very
giving
rude.
off vibes for me. And it's a little weird because this is about Victoria's Secret and sex appeal, and they're so adamantly against it. It's giving like self-hatred a little bit.
It's giving self-hatred.
What does he mean we're against it? No, we were saying that we want the best thing for the company would be to go back to promoting actually hot models, not social justice related topics and body positive models is all that was being said.
And models who are biologically male.
And let's be
When this is
fair
a
here,
brand for
guys.
women.
When we talk about this stuff, Mary finds this topic very, very interesting. I don't think
You're
much-
kind of just along for
I'm
the
kinda
ride.
just along for
it's
the
weird
ride
that
on
you're
these
getting
topics,
most of
yeah.
the heat, but let's see what he
This
had
guy
to say.
here, who looks like someone that does adult content for a living, but only does it
Projection.
for money. So you're not going to catch him with a boyfriend. And the one down on the end there, hold on, let me look up his socials. All right, so here's his socials. Holy crap. I want to remind you guys, this is a Tim Pool funded pop culture
Timcast
discussion
garbage.
podcast. So it's no surprise that they take this angle with everything. But yeah, he's giving me like I'm on Grindr.
The best part
I don't know
here.
if he is or not. Is he out?
This guy might have a
know
thing
if-
for you.
Yeah,
If,
I think
he might like
Brett
you.
is out or not, because this is definitely giving me those kinds
He would
of
swipe
vibes.
right.
All right, back to this.
The,
Maybe
the best part there is like, so I used to have the same old like Timcast picture, like of Mia as the background, as my profile picture.
Yeah.
And I changed it. And it was a whole thing between me and Olivia where she's like, oh, I love your new profile picture. I'm like, she's like, why did you change? I'm like, look, it was a moment of whimsy. That was literally the word that was used.
He was like, it's giving whimsical.
Yeah, it is giving whimsical.
Okay, move to like 15 minutes in and we'll see a little bit more of.
I think he had a crush on me.
I think so too. I think
crush.
Bear Daddy Supreme likes Brett.
why can't it be
Also,
this
he's framing it like it's a bad thing. Like he's framing it
Right,
like
it's
he's,
like,
he's
if you're
being
gay-
rude to, he was framing it like being gay is bad, which is weird because I
Yeah.
don't think that there's anything wrong with being gay, but he's using it as some type of attack on me,
Right.
which doesn't really make any sense because I don't really have a problem with gay people.
Look,
but
it
he
makes
seems to.
perfect. It makes perfect sense to me. So he thinks you're a homophobe, right? I'm actually the
guess.
homophobe here, but he thinks you're homophobic. So he is going to accuse you of secretly being gay because he views that as like a shameful thing to be. But it's weird because if you say something racist, against like black people, no one accuses you of secretly being black.
What's
It's just the
weird
most
because
bizarre
we've,
argument.
I mean, I guess he probably doesn't watch the show much other than the clip because we've spoken at length on multiple occasions. Look, I am just as liberal as anybody was 10 years ago. I still am in most respects. Thinking that beautiful women should be the front line of the Victoria's Secret fashion show
Don't
is
you know
not,
that makes you a Christo-fascist?
isn't in a liberal position. If anything, I would imagine that the farthest right would think that the Victoria's Secret fashion show shouldn't exist at all.
Also, in the description of this video, he says, join the revolution, become a part of the Ericverse today, help us fight back against the algorithm that funnels negative content to potential fans.
Well, what does that mean? Like,
It doesn't mean anything.
So the thing is, like, we cover this stuff. I would like to think that most of the time we have a pretty reasonable and even keel discussion. Even if we take one side of the aisle as far as our approach, we don't approach any of this stuff in bad faith, and we have a discussion about a bunch of topics. He clearly disagrees with us, which is fine. That's his business. Me and you disagree with stuff all the time, but to pretend like your content isn't also doing the same thing, we're dunking on celebrities who say stupid stuff. You're dunking on us because you think us dunking on celebrities that say stupid stuff is bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know, pick your poison. Do you want to follow the channel that covers celebrities doing stuff, or do you want to follow the channel that covers the celebrities covering that
Right.
covers the people covering celebrities doing dumb stuff?
He's not exactly doing the positivity, the work for positive content, because, if he wanted to fight back against negative content in the algorithm, he would create, instead of a commentary video on our channel, he would record a 32-minute long video praising the Victoria's Secret fashion show for how great and beautiful and inclusive and diverse it was. But that's not what he did, and I think that says everything you need to know. But some of these comments were funny. People calling us chuds. I said, it was funny. One person said their content is just awful, an endless parade of condescending negativity, as if that's not what we just watched. And when Mary stops gawping at the camera like a haunted Victorian doll, then she can criticize other people's looks.
It's weird because I don't
You're
think of
gay.
I don't think of our channel as like, look, we dunk on celebrities, we dunk on people saying stupid stuff, but I don't think of it as negativity most of the time because we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out and
Yeah,
talking.
we're good over here.
And
Your gaydar is legit on these two, Eric. I'm straight, but I got a gay best friend for 20 plus years. These two guys, meaning you and Phil, definitely giving vibes.
does that mean like?
Giving vibes.
By the
Whoa!
way, that was a very big super chat there. Thank you so
$500
much.
super chat from Chris G. Thank you for being good humans. I appreciate that. We appreciate you.
appreciate
That's
that.
your
Thank
first
you.
super chat on the channel?
That is crazy. Thank
Well,
you
I
so
mean,
much for that.
I don't know if you're new here, but welcome and thank you so much. We're going to have to
Yes.
trigger all of those right now.
Yes.
There's going to be so much money on the floor by the end of this episode. Wow. Thank you. I guess we're going to just sit here and bask in our negativity. So bathe in it.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.